Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on whereabouts you are in the world. It's lovely to see you again, and thanks for popping over to spend the next few minutes with me. And I'll just take you through how I made this wonderful shortbread. I was away recently, and the lady that owns the accommodation we were staying in, she put these fresh biscuits out every morning or every afternoon, not every morning, every afternoon, and I just loved them. So I asked her for the recipe, and she gave me the recipe. So thank you very much. If you're watching, they turned out wonderful. A wee bit bigger than yours, but hey, nobody was complaining. The texture of these things is amazing. Slightly crumbly, slightly soft, slightly chewy, very rich and extremely buttery. Just wonderful. This is everything that I used here, but as usual, all of the ingredients will be in the show more box underneath. So I've got some plain flour, some sugar, some soft salted butter, some chocolate chips, and I've also got some corn flour as well. So just a few ingredients, but I would say the most important ingredient is the butter. Get a good quality butter. Everything else doesn't really matter, does it? But yeah, it's all about the butter in these biscuits. This is the chocolate I used here. This one is just from Aldi, and I was told, the chocolate doesn't matter, so I just picked mine up in Aldi when I was in doing the shop. So you just want to chop your chocolate into wee tiny pieces, just like this. Obviously you don't want the chunks too big because they're quite flat biscuits, but something like this is ideal. And I found these wee chocolate bars really easy to work with, and they're individually wrapped. They're small bars and they're 25 grams each, so I just used just under 3 of these, so there's no waste or anything, so I just found those perfect. The first thing we're going to do is cream together the sugar and the butter. I'm using caster sugar, but if you can't find caster sugar, ordinary white granulated sugar will do, and also some very soft butter. I'm using salted butter, but you can use unsalted if you prefer. So cream these together, and you want to give this about 3 to 5 minutes until it turns this very yellow colour to a sort of pale, almost whipped cream sort of colour. And this is going to give your biscuits a lovely light texture. Everything you can do to make them lighter, it's all to the good. So as close to this colour as you can get would be ideal. And I'm just checking my wee recipe there just to make sure I do it right. Now I'm going to sieve my ingredients. It doesn't say to do that, but I always do that anyway with this kind of thing. So into the sieve with your plain flour and your corn flour. Just shake that through the sieve just like this. And then with your spatula, you just want to very gently start folding this in and mixing it in. Don't be too rough with this, and do not overwork it because you're in danger of your mixture, becoming tough. So the less you can work this, the better. Just stir it until all of your flour has disappeared. When it's just about disappeared, you can add in the chocolate chips just for the final few seconds. Like I said, just until it comes together and your flour has disappeared. There's no need to furiously mix this, and the less you can mix it, the better your biscuits are going to be. So pop it on top of your cling film, shape this into some sort of log. The shorter your log, the bigger the biscuits and the thicker your biscuits are going to be. If you want lots of small biscuits, make a longer log. You understand, you get where I'm coming from. I wanted quite big biscuits, so I've done quite a short log. Then wrap it up in your cling film like a Christmas cracker. And then we're just going to make this a wee bit more cylindrical. So I'm just going to roll mine on my work surface to make it a wee bit rounder, and then just push the edges in to sort of flatten the ends out. Let this chill out in the fridge for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. You don't want it in there too long, or you might find it quite difficult to cut, or when you go to cut it, it might all just fall apart. Once it's been chilling for about 45 minutes, get it out the fridge and let it sit at room temperature for about 5 minutes. And then with a sharp knife, you just want to slice your biscuits. Any thickness you like. Obviously, I wouldn't go too thick, but you can see how thick I am making mine there. And also, I wouldn't go too thin either because they would be in danger of burning. Mine's turn out, absolutely fine. So I was happy with these. Pop them onto your baking tray and give them about an inch gap between, because they will spread out as this mixture does, and they will get a wee bit rounder. But if you do want yours perfectly round, you can shape these into a sort of rounder shape if you prefer. I quite like the look of these, so I was fine leaving these the way they were. So pop these into the middle of your oven, not too high, not too low, just in the middle, and they will only take about 10 minutes, and it's quite a low heat in your oven as well. When they're starting to colour around the edges, that's you done. When you take them out, they are going to be quite soft, but let them cool for a good 15 minutes and you will be able to pick them up. And they will still be warm, and they are terrific when they're still warm because your wee chocolate chips are still slightly gooey. They're just wonderful. Or if you let them cool completely, they will also firm up and they will become a wee bit crispier, but they will still have that soft texture in the middle, which I absolutely adore. These were gone within about 4 hours of making them, so I will need to make another batch. But you'll get between 10 and 12 of these biscuits from that mixture, depending on the size you make them. If you make your log thinner, you will get probably 20 plus, I would imagine. But just look at them. They are fabulous. Highly recommended you give those a go. They were delicious. And just before I move on, I wanted to say, as usual, a massive thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here on YouTube as well, and for you all for watching and leaving your comments. And I hope you're out there enjoying this glorious weather that we've been having, the last few days, and you're managing not to get too sunburnt. Make sure you've got the SPF duffel coat on, especially here, because we are just not used to this weather at all. Oh, a wee side note, somebody asked me, where is it you're from? I actually stay in Ayrshire, but originally I was from Aberdeenshire, so I've got a wee sort of mixed accent there, so I know there's a wee bit of confusion over that as well. So that was just a wee side note. Oh, and if you're not following me over on Instagram yet, I'm What's for Tea 3 over there, and it would be lovely to see you. So I will catch you probably on Sunday for meals of the week, or even Thursday or Friday for my wee shopping unbagging. But whenever you choose to join me again, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you off soon back here on What's for Tea. Take care. Bye now.